Have you ever had that feeling that there's some secret key to life that you're just missing? You know, a hidden switch that could unlock everything you've ever wanted? Well, what if I told you that key isn't found in the daily grind, but in those quiet final moments just before you fall asleep? That's exactly what we're diving into today, an ancient science for literally changing your reality, all while you rest. I mean, it's a question that can drive you crazy, right? You look around, you see people achieving these incredible things, and you can't help but wonder, what separates them from everybody else? What is the real difference between that 1% who seem to just write their own destiny and the 99% of us who feel like we're just stuck, struggling with the hand we've been dealt? I really want you to feel this for a second. Just picture someone who has poured their entire heart and soul into a dream. They sacrificed everything, worked till they were completely exhausted. They did everything they thought they were supposed to do. And in the end, it all just fell apart. Now they're just lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling completely broken and lost, asking what went wrong. If you've ever felt even a tiny piece of that pain, then you're in the right place. Okay, so here's the twist. The secret, it turns out, isn't about working even harder or just getting lucky. Instead, ancient wisdom and modern science are pointing to the exact same, completely overlooked window of opportunity. Those critical 2 minutes as you're drifting off to sleep. It sounds almost too simple, but that tiny, quiet moment can literally influence everything that happens next in your life. And just to be clear, this isn't some new age fad. We're talking about a seriously powerful science that's been hidden for thousands of years in ancient texts like the Vedas and Upanishads. This is a kind of lost knowledge, something that was understood by some of history's greatest minds and civilizations, and we're about to bring it back into the light. So what exactly are we talking about here? Well, today, people in neuroscience might call it sleep programming, which is basically the act of intentionally planting an instruction into your subconscious mind. But this is not a new idea, not by a long shot. In ancient Vedic culture, it was known by the much deeper name, Yoga Nidra, which means yogic sleep. And, you know, this wisdom wasn't just in one place. This timeline really shows you how universal it is. Think about it. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Egyptians had sleep temples, actual places people went to get guidance and healing in their dreams. At the same time, Vedic sages in India were meticulously mapping out the different states of our consciousness. Then you fast forward to someone like Thomas Edison, who famously used that half-awake, half-asleep state to literally download ideas for his inventions. And today, modern neuroscience is finally catching up, and they're confirming that yes, the brain is incredibly receptive right before you fall asleep. So how does this actually work? Like, what is happening inside your brain to make this possible? Let's get into the science of it, because there's a special gateway that opens up in your mind every single night. And once you understand it, you can start to use it on purpose. Here is the absolute best way to think about this. Your brain is like a giant search engine. All day long, your conscious mind is typing in problems, questions, worries, just filling up that search bar. But that moment, right before you fall asleep, that's when you finally hit enter. And just like with Google, you don't stress about how it's going to find the answer. You just trust the system to do its work. That's exactly what you're doing with the massive intelligence of your subconscious mind. So every night, your brain goes on this little journey. When you're awake, you're in the beta state. You're alert, logical, but that's also where all the stress and doubt lives. As you start to wind down, you slip into the calm, creative alpha state. But the magic window, the gateway we're looking for, is the theta state. It's this slow, dreamy frequency. This is the twilight zone, the bridge that connects your conscious mind directly to the powerhouse of your subconscious. And scientists actually have a name for this magical moment. It's called the hypnagogic state. It's that floaty, brief period where you're not quite awake, but you're not fully asleep either. Now, what's so important about this state is that the critical, analytical firewall of your conscious mind is at its absolute weakest. It's basically down. Anything you plant in your mind right then goes straight to the source code. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now for the best part, the how. This isn't just theory, it's a very practical technique. And the specific steps we're about to go through come from an incredible ancient text called the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which is basically an instruction manual of powerful meditation techniques. But before we get to the steps, I have to give you a heads up on the number one mistake pretty much everyone makes. You lie down, you ask your subconscious for an answer, and then you immediately start trying to figure it out with your logical brain. That just short-circuits the whole process. The real key here is to ask the question and then completely let go of trying to find the answer yourself. All right, let's walk through it. It's actually beautifully simple. First, you lie down and get completely comfortable. Just let your whole body relax. In yoga, this is called Shavasana. Second, as you're feeling calm, just gently introduce one single clear question into your mind. Step 3, and this part is crucial, just hold the question. Don't try to answer it, don't analyze it, just hold it gently like you're holding a seed in your hand. Fourth, just become a witness. Notice any thoughts or feelings that pop up, but don't get attached to them. Just watch them float by. And finally, step 5, just let it all go. Surrender the question completely and just allow yourself to drift into sleep. Now, you can follow all of those steps perfectly, but there is one more thing, a secret ingredient that really makes this whole thing work. It's not about the words you use. It's about the emotion, the actual feeling you have when you ask. That feeling is the rocket fuel for your subconscious mind. There's this profound saying in the Upanishads, Bhavo hi vidyate deva. What it means is that the divine, the creative power of the universe, actually lives in your feeling. So if you ask with doubt and worry, you're sending a mixed signal. But if you can ask with this pure, unwavering trust, kind of like a child asking their parent for help, you are speaking the language of the universe. That feeling of faith is absolutely everything. And this right here really breaks it down, doesn't it? It shows the choice you have every single night. Whatever feeling you carry with you into sleep gets put on a loop in your nervous system for the next 8 hours. If you go to bed worried and full of doubt, you are literally practicing anxiety all night long. But if you can fall asleep with faith, holding the feeling that your solution is already on its way, you are practicing success. The choice is yours. So, the power to completely reshape your life is literally waiting for you in your bed tonight. But let's be real for a second. This isn't some magic pill. In the yogic traditions, this is called a sadhana, which means it's a dedicated, consistent practice. The results will absolutely come, but they come from your commitment to doing it. So if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Your mind is the most powerful supercomputer ever created. And those 2 minutes right before you fall asleep, that's when you have root access. That is your moment to write the code that will run in the background, shaping your thoughts, your actions, and your entire reality. The system is ready. The command line is open, you've got the knowledge, you've got the technique, so the only question left is the one on your screen. Your supercomputer is waiting. What will you program tonight?